Start a VM in VirtualBox without GUI. I'm using Oracle VirtualBox to run a CentOS 7 VM. I then normally SSH into the VM and do all work through my terminal. Thus I don't really need the GUI, and I'd like to disable it to improve performance. Is there a way to start a VM in VirtualBox without GUI?
From VirtualBox Manual's 7th chapter, Remote Virtual Machines. To start a virtual machine with vBudless, you have 3 options. You can use vboxmanage start VM, VM name, type headless. The extra type option causes VirtualBox to use vBudless as the front end to the internal virtualization engine instead of the Qt front end. One alternative is to use vBudless directly, as follows: vBudless start VM UUID name. This way of starting the VM helps troubleshooting problems reported by vboxmanage start VM, because you can see sometimes more detailed error messages, especially for early failures before the VM execution is started. In normal situations, vboxmanage start VM is preferred since it runs the VM directly as a background process, which has to be done explicitly when directly starting vBudless. The other alternative is to start vBudless from the VirtualBox Manager GUI, by holding the Shift key when starting a virtual machine or selecting Headless Start from the machine menu. The mentioned menu is here.
VirtualBox guests can be run without a visible host window with these methods. In the main VirtualBox Windows list of guests, click the guest, then click the drop-down next to the Start button at the top, and choose Headless Start. Right-click the guest in the guest list, and choose Start, then Headless Start. Hold down Shift on the keyboard, then double-click the guest in the guest list. In a command prompt or desktop shortcut, running in the directory where boxmanage.exe exists, run the command boxmanage start name. Type Headless. VirtualBox cannot disable the guest GUI to improve performance. In VirtualBox, headless means no window showing on the host monitor, not no video card in the guest computer. VirtualBox always provides a guest video card and availability for a guest OS GUI, even when the guest is run headless, i.e. with no guest window showing, and even if the guest OS is a text-only guest. This can be seen by running any GUI-based guest headless, then remoting into it either through VirtualBox RDP or a remote-in service within the guest OS. The GUI will still be calculated and still be completely ready to use, as if the guest were being run with a normal window. To run a guest without CPU cycles wasted in calculating a GUI, you need to run a guest OS that doesn't run a GUI, like a text-only DOS-like command line OS, or an OS that expects to boot on a server that does not have a video card.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.